Everyone, I'm here to talk to you guys about a very important subject. When I was growing up, there were a lot of small grocery stores around my area, and every day after school, so many kids, including myself, would go and spend our allowance at the corner stores or the nearest store um, to buy junk food. Back then, chips were 25 cents and chocolate bars were about $1. Obviously, the prices of these items have increased over time, but they've still remained relatively low. So the problem with this is obesity has increased over the years, and I do believe it's because of the high availability of junk food and fast food. So that is why my peers Jacqueline Pillajo, Jennifer Hernandez, Aranza Estrada, and I, Areli Pineda, will be explaining why it is imperative to believe in the increase of tax on junk food to balance out consumer consumption. So my audience should believe in increasing the tax on junk food to balance out consumer consumption because the higher cost of junk food could reduce the intake of this food. This also motivates food producers to deliver more healthy foods and to sell healthier foods. And lastly, the increased tax could lead to raised revenue. So I also wanted to talk about one of our counter points, which is, our health is not just based on what types of food we consume, but also how we use that energy from the food that we are eating on a daily basis. So it's very important to keep in mind that raising the taxes isn't gonna make a difference as far as the exercise that we do. And other activities that will make sure that we're burning enough calories, regardless of what type of food we are consuming. And we also have to portion out our food, which is very important. No one's saying not to eat unhealthy foods, but it's also very important to think about the portions. Thank you.
We can begin by speaking about our health. So, increasing tax on junk food can help us make healthier choices as well as improving our overall health. According to the CDC website, it's stated that about more than 1/3 of adults here in the US are obese, and it has all contributed to frequent purchases of fast food, and fast food has made them gain a little bit more weight. So increasing tax on junk food can help put a stop to obesity, just because a lot of people won't want to put any extra money on, fast food, or, an example can be the tax on bags. So a lot of people don't want to pay an extra 10 cents, even if, some people are like, oh, 10 cents. But for others, I've worked at a grocery store, so a lot of people make a big deal about just 10 cents. Back then when I used to work, they would argue about 10 cents. And, many people have different opinions, but this is the same thing as, taxing junk food. A lot of people have different opinions, but it can minimize a small percentage of frequent fast food purchases. And another example can be Panera Bread and McDonald's. So Panera Bread offers soup, salads, vegetables are included in there, fruits are included as an option, apples, healthy chips, smoothies, all for either breakfast, lunch, or even dinner. So it's a lot healthier than McDonald's, which just offers hamburgers, fries, chicken sandwiches, and it's all, deep fried or fried in oil, which is not, it's, pure garbage going into your body. And McDonald's is a lot more cheaper than Panera Bread, so that's why a lot of people purchase, fast food like McDonald's, because it's more cheaper. Unlike Panera Bread, it's a bit pricier, but it's better for your health.
Also, the increased tax on junk food could lead to raise revenue. The government could benefit from this tax because that way they get more money out of that tax, and this it's a positive thing overall for everyone, because this is explained better in the article titled Pros and Cons of Fat Tax by Tigran Pettinger, in which he states, the tax money collected from junk food could be used to help alleviate the health cost of obesity. This means that the tax money collected from this tax on the junk food is just gonna circle around to help people who are dealing with obesity. And the con side to this is that it could bear a heavy load on low income families, but at the same time, if you really think about it, we're already paying taxes for other things. So in the end, like every other tax, it's gonna contribute to something else. So to conclude, let's remind ourselves of the importance of imposing this tax on junk food. The increased tax on junk food brings about good things, such as a healthier lifestyle, food producers selling healthier options to the consumers, and creating a raise in revenue, which is what I just talked about. And this should all just overall make you think about your choices and make you think that it doesn't have to get to that point where we have to increase a tax on junk food. Like, it shouldn't get to that point where that has to happen for you to make a more conscious choice when it comes to your grocery shopping. And I hope this all made you think about, like, what could the future be if obesity continues being a problem, a big problem in the United States. And thank you for your attention.